What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brickanics. My name's Andy, and this is another episode of Building the Inferno on Endor. This is a large-scale LEGO project based on Battlefront 2 featuring the Inferno Squad. I'm really excited about the progress we made in this episode, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're going to start working on the bunker. We're going to take a break from land forming and just focus on this bunker a little bit. I think that makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of things happening around here that need this bunker to be complete before they can be done. So I think getting this in place will just help speed the rest of this along. So the first step is figuring out the floor plan, and then we can start thinking about how the floors are going to go in, which I believe I'm going to use a snot technique, which is studs not on top. So we can do floors, we can do walls, and then we can see where we go from there. All right, we have a footprint and I'm starting to get excited about this bunker. It's a little different than what you saw in the time lapse. That's because I've tried to record this right here about 10 times, and during the course of that time, I've changed the footprint, but I'll talk about this here in a second. Something else I changed was the overall size of the bunker. I reduced it a little bit, and part of the reason why is, one, my wall height was actually miscalculated. This is 8 bricks tall, and that's how tall I thought the wall was going to be. Geez, am I a rhyme? Do I rhyme? Anyways, but I did not account for the floor height. So this actually is going to come up. And when it was back here, this trajectory that we were on for the hill was going to bump into the wall. It wasn't going to look right. So I had to move it in so we could get this hill over top of the bunker because we're going to light this up, which is going to look great. Another reason why I moved it in was so I could have just a little bit more room right here. If you remember in the last episode, which I'll put a link up top here if you want to see that, I spoke about how we need to make an embankment here because there's just not enough room to angle up, especially when the old wall was right here. We had no room to angle the hill up like we did there. It was going to have to be like an embankment. So we still need to put an embankment, but now I have just a little bit more room to work with, which I think will help it look a little bit more natural. Taking a look at the floor plan, we have the entrance here, which is going to lead into a control room. And I have 4 pillars that are in the middle of the floor that are going to hold the roof up to that bunker, right? Because our hill is going to be over top, and then the whole interior here is going to be lit up, which I'm really excited to see. I think that's going to look great. Now, I did talk about a snot or studs not on top technique for the floor. I think I'm going to go with tiles here. And the reason why is I want to use this piece. I just love the way this piece looks on the floor. I'll have 4 of them there, and it has a nice space here for the pillar in the middle, which I think is going to look great. So we'll have some different computers and people walking around, etc. And then off to the side here is a hallway, and then this hallway comes down here, which leads off into the other section of the bunker, which we don't see because the bunker has been cut in half. And I think that I might go with the studs not on top or a snot technique over here. We'll have to see, because I believe I want my walls to be angled a little bit, and I might want to put some lights in the floor, which I think would look pretty cool. But I'll have to do some testing around with some white, plates and things like that to see how the light shines through that. So why don't I go ahead and play around a little bit with the floor, and then I'll show you the end result here. So while I have the lights off here, I thought I'd show you the setup, and man, how cool is that? These are Govee strip lights. I actually have a link down in the description if you wanted to check those out. It's an Amazon affiliate link. But man, this setup is so cool. I have the lights off. It's just the strip lights in the very back, and I just love the way that it lights up those sets. But the reason why I have the lights off is because I thought it would be a good idea to run some tests on lighting ideas for the floor before we actually built out the floor. So what I have here is actually 2 layers of white plate. And then if we put our grate down on top, we can use our starter kit from Light My Bricks. And that's a white strip light under there. And if we turn it on, it gives a pretty cool, like, ominous red glow underneath. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you think that looks pretty cool. I mean, I've tried some different ways just to get a white light to shine through here, but unfortunately it shines yellow or orange through the white bricks. It's a white strip light, it's white bricks, but it shines yellow. It kind of is what it is. But with these 2 layers, it gives this nice kind of ominous red glow. So we'd have like 4 of those in the middle of the floor here, and then we'd have lights coming down from the top, lighting it all up. And I think the mixture might make it look pretty interesting inside. So I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. And now what I want to test out is I want to test out this right here, which is the idea for the lights running down the hallway. I got a feeling this might work out better. I'll have to see. But I might either go with 2 wide or 4 wide. So let's light this up and see what it looks like. All right, so I got it over here on the side. Let's light it up. And it doesn't light the white bricks underneath. But it does have these kind of cool lights down the sides in the gap of that snot, floor there. So that kind of looks pretty cool if we think about it being over here in the mock and you're looking down the hallway. I think that might look pretty cool. So I don't know, I might do it either way. I might just do it like this, where maybe we just have 2 wide down the middle and we have, the floor lighting up like this. But then, is this enough detail in the floor? Do I want to use like the grate pieces, the 1x2 pieces? Or how do I make that floor interesting? I don't know if that's interesting enough. Okay, I've made a decision. I am going to tile both sides of the floor, and I'm going to shine light through grill pieces over here, and then shine light through the grates that we see over here. And then I'll build it up, and we'll just have to see how it looks. One concern I have, though, is the starter kit doesn't have all the lights I think I would need to really light this up, the best way to get that really good impression. I think I have to get more lights to do all 4 of these in the whole row here. But we're gonna work with what I have. So let me go ahead and build this up. We'll light it up, and you guys let me know what you think. All right, we have a pretty good start here to our bunker floor. I'm liking the way everything has turned out so far. Let's talk about it just a little bit. I was a little concerned about going with tiles for the floor because sometimes when you tile a floor, it can look not so good or realistic because there's a lot of these lines that are going through your floor. But if you stick to a pattern and mix it up a little bit, it can look pretty good. And if you use pieces like this here, which is a 4x4 tile with 4 studs down one side, side, or this here, which is a 4x6 tile with studs down either side as well as a long side. Those can look, pretty good. So keeping a nice mix between your stud to tile ratio as well as keeping a nice pattern with your floor lines, it can all look pretty good. I did stick with studs down the sides of the walls because I wanted to have some freedom to add computers and do some different things there as well. So I need to get one more great piece for here, and we have lights in these two, but I have to run lights here. So I'll show you what those lights look like here in a second. And then all the lights are running onto the floor over here, and I actually used this spot to house the battery pack, so that's going to come in pretty handy. As you saw in the build sequence, I inlaid these grill pieces into the floor here, so they're just sitting on top of 2x4 white tiles. And I did run some lights under there, but I don't have as much lights as I need to really light that up, so it doesn't look so great yet, but you'll get an idea here in a second. I actually did put an order in for more lights to light up this area a little bit more, to light up this floor a little bit more, also as well as some other lights I'm going to add into the bunker. All right, so it's a lot darker in here than you might believe. It's actually daytime, but I have all of, the blinds shut. I have the curtains shut. So it's actually a lot darker in here, but these iPhones really, they perform very well in low light situations. This camera is great for everything else, but not low light. And I want you to be able to actually see what's going on here. Just kind of like you saw in the previous clips where I showed you how the lighting was coming along. But I wanted to show you what the lights look like here in the floor. And there it is right there. So as you can see, I don't have enough power or enough lights in here to really illuminate the floor all the way. So I have to work on that, but I think it's looking pretty cool. And I only have 2 of the 4 wired for lights, but I think that's looking really, really cool. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like there's a level below this, like some rooms below this, and these crates and grills or whatever are open flooring to the level below, and these are the lights of the rooms below shining through. And I think that's a really, really, cool look right there. So that's the footprint we have so far. I didn't get to the walls yet. I didn't have enough time, but that'll come up here in some next, some following videos. So a lot of work to be done here, but so far, I think we have a really, really good start. And I'm really starting to like the way this mock is coming together. So what I think we'll do real quick here before the video ends is I'm just gonna do a little bit of landscaping right here because I just wanna get over here a little bit. And yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that right now. And just like that, we have some land built up here. And I wanted to give you the shot from this side of the table so you could see that we are kind of shaping this area here and stepping it down with some wedge plates. Don't worry about the lack of detail in this area here because we're gonna have trees built up here, and I wanna have a decent amount of trees. And this hill is gonna come probably down to about here from this bunker, so this whole area will be a hill, and then we'll have some trees lining it this way. So that's all gonna come along pretty well, and I think it's going to turn out really good. I really like the path that we're on here. A lot of good progress made this week. I'm really happy with the direction we're headed in. And I think in the next episode, we just need to finish this bunker. So we're gonna build the entire bunker in the next episode so that we can then wrap this hill around the bunker, and then we'll be able to finish this back section, build out platform 4. I have some interesting stuff happening in here. This mountain still is gonna be a lot bigger. We still have the waterfall to build in there. So a lot of things still to be done yet, but I'm liking the progress we've made so far. All right, guys, well, that's it for this episode. If you like the progress that we made, make sure you hit that like button. It's going to help people find this video, find this build series, and find the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next build. Later.